It's pretty crazy how much time we spend at Joshua Tree National Park. Since it's only about 2 hours from our house, Joshua Tree National Park is our go-to place for a weekend getaway. With its otherworldly landscapes, awesome hikes, and tons of off-the-beaten-path things to explore, there is always something for us to do. After all of the days that we have spent here, we have compiled a perfect long weekend or 3-day itinerary full of unique scenery and gorgeous hikes encompassing what Joshua Tree National Park is all about. Before we get into the list, here are a couple of things that you need to know before visiting Joshua Tree National Park. This park is located near 29 Palms and the city of Joshua Tree, and it's about 1 hour from Palm Springs in California. There are 3 entrances to this park. To enter from the west entrance, which is in 29 Palms, you're going to take Highway 62 and turn onto Park Boulevard. Please note that this entrance is probably going to be the busiest of the 3 due to its proximity to nearby cities. There is a good chance you will encounter long lines to get into the park on weekends, holidays, and during special events. It is because of this that we highly recommend entering from either the north entrance or the Cottonwood entrance. The north entrance to the park comes through 29 Palms as well on Highway 62. But instead of using Park Boulevard, you'll be turning onto Utah Trail. If you're coming from Palm Springs, you'll need to drive past the exit for the west entrance to get here. The Cottonwood entrance is located on the other side of Joshua Tree National Park. Even if you enter the park this way, you can connect to the other entrances using Pinto Basin Road. You can access this entrance off of the I-10 east of Palm Springs. There is a fee to enter the park, and at the time of the recording of this video, it was $30 per private vehicle. The good thing is that paying that $30 will get you access to the park for 7 days. If you have the America the Beautiful Pass, you can enter the park for free, and for more information, you can check out the park's website. There are several options for lodging in Joshua Tree National Park. If you want to stay inside the park, camping is your only option. Joshua Tree National Park doesn't have any lodges or hotels inside the park. If you don't like camping, you can stay right outside the park at either Joshua Tree or 29 Palms. It's only a short drive. As far as camping goes, there are many beautiful campgrounds inside Joshua Tree National Park. You can reserve Black Rock, Cottonwood, Jumbo Rocks, Indian Cove, and Ryan in advance. Hidden Valley, White Tank, and Bell campgrounds are first come first serve. Black Rock and Cottonwood are the only 2 campgrounds that have water, flush toilets, and dump stations. Jumbo Rocks, Hidden Valley, and White Tank are our favorite places to camp. If hotels are more your style, there are many hotel and motel options on the Joshua Tree and 29 Palms side of the park. There really aren't any options near the Cottonwood entrance, but depending on your budget, you can find many options that suit your needs. If you're looking for something different, Joshua Tree has many choices for unique Airbnbs. We haven't stayed at any of these Airbnbs because we prefer camping, but there are a ton to choose from. There are a couple more things that are extremely important when it comes to having a nice day in the park, and the first one is that there is limited to no cell reception. This means that it is extremely important that you print out or save your camping reservations and also download the GPX files for the hikes that you want to do. It is also very important that you fill up your gas tank. There are many gas stations in 29 Palms and Joshua Tree, however, there are none inside the park. Joshua Tree National Park is much bigger than you realize, so it is very important that you fill up your tank before heading in, just in case. Just as important as bringing fuel for your car is bringing fuel for yourself as well. Make sure that you bring enough food and water. There aren't any concessions inside the park, so it is very important that you bring enough food and water for the duration that you plan on staying inside Joshua Tree National Park. Alright, now that we have all of the formalities covered, it's time to get to that 3-day itinerary. In our recommended itinerary, we group activities and hikes that are close together in the same day. This way you can maximize all of your time in the park instead of having to drive back and forth. We always tend to pack our days pretty full, however you can always adjust the itinerary to fit with your fitness and energy levels. Besides the main recommendations, we have also added alternative options so you can choose what is best for you. On day 1 of the park, we recommend starting off with some iconic yet shorter hikes. These hikes and activities will give you a first taste of this beautiful park that we love so much. We will be starting off at the Hidden Valley Trail. This is a short and easy hike. It's a wonderful introduction to the beautiful landscape of Joshua Tree National Park. Here you will find tons of giant boulders and iconic Joshua trees. Hidden Valley is also a very popular rock climbing spot, so you will see many rock climbers hanging from the tall walls. If you're one of those adventurous souls who loves scrambling, this is also home to one of our favorite places in the park, the Chasm of Doom. This is an off-the-beaten-path adventure. That means that there is no signage to guide you, and you'll have to find your way through rabbit holes and scramble up and over giant boulders. But it will lead you through some super cool tunnels in between the rocks of Hidden Valley. The main event for this adventure is a section called The Coffin. It is a very tight passage where you'll have to lay down on your back and scoot over to the other side. Please note that this gap is only about 1 foot tall, so it's not for the faint of heart. If the Chasm of Doom seems a little bit too crazy for you, you can always substitute it for the Barker Dam Trail. It is located just down the street from the Hidden Valley Trailhead. Barker Dam is a cool hike where you'll be able to see lots of water in the middle of the desert if you time it right. This usually happens after a very rainy season, but if you're lucky enough, you'll get to see the dam full and it creates a really beautiful lake. If you're an avid hiker and you want to add more miles to your day, we recommend checking out Wall Street Mill. From the Barker Dam Trail, you can hike to the Wall Street Mill's trailhead or hop in a car and drive over. It's an additional half of a mile round trip if you're hiking from Barker Dam. This hike leads you to the historic Wall Street Mills. It's a very unique spot to visit with several abandoned structures and also some abandoned cars. If you still have time to spare, we recommend adding Hall of Horrors to your itinerary for the first day in Joshua Tree National Park. There is a short hike around the area, but the best part of Hall of Horrors is all of the fun scrambling around the rocks. One of the spots that we like to visit is the actual Hall of Horrors, which is a small slot canyon hiding behind some big boulders. This is a really fun area to explore, and you can spend as much or as little time as you want here. By this time, you are probably going to be running out of daylight, so it's time to head up to Keys View for the sunset. This is one of the best spots to catch sunset in the park, and it's about a 15-minute drive from the Hall of Horrors. After you park, there is a short uphill walk to the main viewing area, but of course you can watch sunset from anywhere that you like. Since this is a popular spot for sunset, there is a good chance you will encounter a lot of people up here. But from Keys View, you can see the Salton Sea, Santa Rosa Mountain, San Jacinto Peak, San Gregorio Mountain, and more. On a really clear day, you can even see Signal Mountain in Mexico. Since the sun will be set at this point, it's time to enjoy yet another popular activity in the park, stargazing. If you are camping inside the park or don't mind driving home afterwards, we highly recommend checking out the stars from here. This park is one of the few spots in Southern California where you can actually see the Milky Way if the conditions are right. One of our favorite spots for stargazing is at the Hall of Horrors, and we usually try to do some nighttime rock climbing while we're looking up at the sky. We are now on to day 2 of our itinerary, and we have some recommendations for longer but awesome hikes. We will be starting off at the Desert Queen Mine to Eagle Cliff Boulder House. This is our favorite hike in Joshua Tree National Park. It is an off the beaten path hike, and there are no trail signs, so you'll have to do some route finding to get there. But there is so much beauty out here with tons of things to see, especially if you love abandoned mines and boulder houses. This hike is not for beginners, but if you're up for it, you are really going to love it. Even though this trail is only 4 miles long, this hike will take a lot longer because of all of the route finding, so make sure to give it enough time. From here, we will be heading over to the Willow Hole Trail. If off-route trails are not your thing, check out the Willow Hole Trail. At 7 miles round trip, this trail seems long, but it is quite flat most of the time. And it's also very well defined. At the end, you will get rewarded with a unique waterhole in the middle of the desert. The first section of this trail is also very popular with backpackers and rock climbers. Next up on the list is Ryan Mountain. This is a great addition to your Joshua Tree National Park's itinerary. It is one of the most popular hikes in the park. This trail is very steep, but it's also easy to follow. It also gives you one of the best panoramic views of the park. From the top, you can see the massive peaks of San Jacinto and San Gregorio. If you're up for it, you can also watch the sunset from the top of Ryan Mountain. Besides Key's View, this place is another amazing spot for sunset. But don't forget to bring a headlight with you for the hike back down. We are now on to day 3, and it's going to be an early one. We hope that you are ready to get up before the sunrise because we are heading over to the Cholla Cactus Garden. This spot is beautiful for sunrise and sunset, but I think that sunrise is just a little bit better. That could just be because it's a little bit less busy early in the morning. There's something about watching the fuzzy needles on the Cholla cactus glow under the golden light. It is a sight to behold, but be careful because these things will poke you, so be sure to bring a headlight. From here, we will be making a short drive over to the Arch Rock Trail. Since it will be early enough, there's a good chance you'll have the whole place to yourself, and that's a good thing because this is also one of the most popular trails in the park. This is also one of our favorite short hikes in Joshua Tree National Park. After stopping over at the Heart Rock, you can make your way over to Arch Rock. The area around Arch Rock is very beautiful, and we highly recommend spending some time here exploring. If you're still looking for more hiking, Split Rock is another fun, beautiful, and easy hike to do. It is also one of the most underrated trails in Joshua Tree National Park. We love this trail. There are so many fun rock formations to explore along the way. From there, you can make another very short drive over to Skull Rock. This is a quick stop, and it's located very close to the Split Rock Loop trailhead. Since it is located right off of the road, there will be a lot of visitors here, so you'll have to share your time. But it is worth a quick stop. It is a rock shaped like a lopsided skull. You kind of have to see it from the right angle, but it's still pretty unique to see. The area around Skull Rock is pretty fun to explore too. And if you want, there is a short 1.7 mile natural trail that connects to the other side of the road and loops back via Jumbo Rocks Campground. Besides all of the fun stuff inside the park, there are a few unique stops in the 29 Palms area that we think are worth a visit. The Glass Outhouse Art Gallery is one of them. It is a quirky little outdoor gallery that features an outhouse covered in one-way glass panels. So if you're on the inside, you can see everything outside clearly. It also has whimsical sculptures, interesting skeletons, and many other fun recycled art pieces. If you have time, you should definitely add this to your itinerary for Joshua Tree National Park. And with that, our list has come to a close. What do you think? Did we miss anything? If so, feel free to let us know in the comments below. If there's an adventure that you would like to see in an upcoming video, let us know. And for all the information about Joshua Tree National Park as well as other awesome California adventures, head on over to livethatadventure.com.